Most excited part of playing this game is seeing new cards and balance patches, so I'm hype as hell. Let's see, this is one of their variety patches, so I assume we're getting a chunk of cards and probably a few balance patches.
I didn't even realize this was happening, but I'm kind of glad I came over today.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I also got my bro Reese. He's over here. He'll be reacting to it as well. So, first off, we got Ceaseless Sentry. He is a 2-mana 2/1 Last Breath, draw 1.
So he's just the Freljord guy in Shadow Isle.
Yeah, exactly the same card, but in Shadow. Weird, I wonder why they did that.
I don't know.
I think it's exactly him, by the way.
You think so?
I think it's him.
He's got the furs, but I don't remember the beard.
And the shield and everything. I think that
What's the name of the Freljord?
Yeah, let me just look it up real quick. Everrosen Sentry.
Everrosen Sentry. Yeah, he's got the shield.
He
just has a longer beard in that picture. That in the Shadow Isles version. That's all.
So you can play Shadow Isles, and you can play 3 copies of this guy, and you can play 3 copies of his dead version of him. That's fascinating. 3-mana Targonian 2/3. When you play a spell, grant a random ally in hand +1/+1. Ooh.
So buffing other units is really good in a lot of cases because then your opponent has to weigh killing your buffer or the buffed unit. Whereas
this
units
is really good with gems, which is why it's a gem crafter. I mean, you can get a lot of gems. Each spell you cast is then worth +2/+1.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I'm not sure exactly the best place to put her, but like you could play her in
that landmark in Targon seems pretty good with her.
Which one?
The one that gives you spell mana back and gives your strongest ally +1/+1.
It's +1/+0. That's why
that's +1/+0. It used to be +1/+1, and then
they nerfed it, and that's why that card doesn't seem to play anymore.
Okay. Seeing your mana back still seems pretty valuable, but
Zoe Nami, yeah, with Zoe I could see it, and Nami. That'd be interesting. I haven't seen a lot of. Well, I guess Argon has enough elusive units with Bilgewater from Nami. You could make it work, yeah.
Oh, Nami would
give that face, but yeah, this could very much work. Sadly, I don't know if I'm excited to see.
My problem with it is that it's 3 mana.
Targon is a good option too. It is 3 mana. It's hard to get, but I mean, it's everyone. You could play it with 3 mana backup, and you can just buff the crap out of a card in hand.
Yeah,
this is some of the best hand buffing in the game, actually.
Well, I've
because it's a hand buff engine. No, but I mean,
you can buff the Fae. You buff the hand
thing, and then that's what he's trying to say.
When you keep attaching it, it doesn't lose buffs.
Exactly. That's the thing he's trying to say.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating card. It's an epic, so it probably will never be good. Moving on. Another elite. Man.
Oh.
3 mana, 4/4 that can block elusives.
I think that's like almost exactly what Demacia needed.
This card's insane.
I'm not sure it should be an elite. I don't think
3 mana 4/4 with this text is great already, but the fact that he's an elite is so sick. This card is gross.
Yeah, that's the part. Well, if they want to make him elite, I guess that's the route they want to go.
Dude, like turn 2, you play the Battlesmith, and then turn 3, you play this fucking guy. He's a 5/5 that can block elusives. My goodness. Card is busted. Elites are gonna make my Fizz dreams cry. Yeah, you were just talking about Fizz UV Targon, and then they're just gonna keep running into 4/4 or 5/5 Badger Bear here. Blocking Badger Bear, of course. Man, I mean, I have a soft spot for elites. They're big, dumb, and fun. And this is big, dumb, and fun in my opinion. So you have to sunburst it. Yeah, exactly. There's no other way. It's not even like a keyword, so you can't like quicksand.
I love that it's called blocking Badger Bear because it can totally attack, and it's 4 damage. The fact that it doesn't attack as elusive, it's like your opponent's gonna kill it with blockers. So you're like, you're better off just blocking their elusive with this thing.
That's a hell of a good card.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to play with that. Banana Blaster, 4 mana 2/2 Yordle. Play. Deal damage to my
equal to my power to a unit.
Ooh, this is fun.
You have to pump it and then play
4 mana for 2 damage. But I mean, we were just talking about a card that can help do that, and Chimes could also help do that. Yeah, it's so easy to buff power before it's played.
Yeah, but then you just have to build it into
its Bard support. Yeah, I mean, obviously it has a Bard mask on its face. But the fact that this is removal on a unit Like, there's not a lot of that. There's
Oh,
not a
and
lot
it's
of.
a Yordle, so you can play it with the Yordle buffed units if you want to.
The Banana Blaster looks like a ton of fun. There's a lot of ways, of course. Chimes work great. You can hand buff with the card we were just talking about. With Kale effects. It's essentially also kind of like a Kale effect where it's power.
It's also a skill, so you could play him, and then if your opponent responds, then you can like Wuju style him and make it bigger.
Your opponent responds to try and make the creature bigger, and then you're just like, Fury of the North, +3 power, Battle Fury. Fascinating card. I like this one. This is second best card revealed so far. All right, Priestess of Desert Light.
Getting the
So are we getting one of each region? Is that what we're getting?
We're getting the 6-mana territory, so we're getting into the almost unplayable.
Yeah, well, Shurima really needs a big bad drop, and so maybe this is it. 6 mana, 4/4. Round start. Deal 4 to me. Okay. Draw a champion, or if your deck started with 6+ champions, summon it instead. So as long as you have 6, and you can, as long as you max it.
Wait, okay, so you play this, you want to buff its health and then try to keep it healing so that every turn you summon a champion on board? That's kind of what you're aiming for?
This is a wild effect.
First,
This is you can summon a champion directly to field.
if you place one-ofs of your champions.
6+ different champions, yeah.
So if you play one-ofs of each of your champions.
And then manage to give her permanent health buff.
Regenerate.
Player in Freljord. And in Freljord, you just use the
And then
stances.
you just get free Tryndamirs and then...
You just use the stances. Like, you can use a stance to give her +2, and
That's what I was thinking of. The stance +0, +0.
Yeah, you would be a new deer.
Yeah.
Yes, one of each reason, but no Rune Terran. Yes, exactly. This and Udyr is pretty funny because of the stance. Yep, exactly. You could also do it with Demacia with the equipment I was just talking about, because it would give her 1 additional health and it would only do 3 damage to it. It's interesting too when you choose your region, which one-ofs of each champion you want to do.
Well, I think Trendamir is the answer. At least one of the answers.
Oh, of course. Tryndamir and Trundle are both huge gets. If you can keep her alive and get them.
Yeah. Trundle's a decent get.
And then, I guess, who do you want out of Shurima that's worth it? I don't know, man. This is a fascinating card. I will be playing a deck with this very shortly.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably the most fun card. These ones this thing actually, and I like this one a lot too.
I love the flair of this one. The Blocking Badger Bear.
Blocking Badger Bear is just fucking good.
Yeah.
And but this is fun. Ooh, PNZ my favorite region. Shurima and PNZ my 2 favorite regions. 6 mana. Draw 2, refill your spell mana.
That is a Heimer Dream.
We already have
card.
You
know what card hates that card? The Landmark. The Landmark hates that card.
That already refills your spell mana. That's true. That one's a bit awkward. The other thing I don't like about this is it's just another draw card in PNZ when they already have Drum Solo, which is already so good.
Drum Solo can make this cheaper. You can drum.
Yeah, I know. This is fucking nuts.
And then into something else, and then that into something else. Like this plus Drum Solo is the reason they're getting rid of Tigat.
This is 3 mana draw 2.
Yeah, it's 3 mana draw 2.
But Drum Solo can be, was it 5 mana, right?
It's like 1 mana draw 2, basically.
Yeah, Drum Solo can be 1 mana draw 2.
Right? Because it reduces
It's
the
5
cost by
and it
2.
reduces 2 cards cost by 2.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's 1 mana draw 2.
So Drum Solo is just better than this.
Yes, it is. But you can Drum Solo into that and reduce the cost
Sure.
of that. That's nuts.
But this also works with Jace and Lux, which, Drum Solo
I think the
doesn't.
Lux version could use something like that, and it doesn't feel absurd, but I feel like it's kind of absurd for Piltover.
I feel like this will make a lot more sense if Drum Solo were nerfed, and Drum Solo is an easy nerf. It just reduces the cost of the cards by 1, not 2.
Yeah.
And that way, it is a 3 mana draw 2 cards, the same way as this. It just works differently. This one refills your spell mana. The other one gives you 2 discounted cards. Like
This
it's
one Nami
different.
loves. Nami Jace?
Jace Heimer and Heimer Nami. Anyone who cares about refilling spell mana, Timer or Nami, both of them care. That's fascinating. And then you run Jace, obviously, because it's 6 mana. So, good card, but I don't know that we needed it. 4 mana, Freljord Burst. Gain an empty mana gem. Hey, another ramp card. Enlighten, I cost 1.
Draw 1.
So it's just a cantrip when you do hit Enlighten.
Yeah, because why would you need an empty mana gem?
This card is now the best ramp card in the game.
Uh-huh.
Right? I mean, it doesn't heal you 3 for 1 more mana like the other one, or give you a 2/2 like the other one for 1 more mana. And you can usually you can't play this any earlier than you can play the 5-costed one.
This thing easily replaces just like unit-based mana regeneration. If you're building something with like faces, this just like easily replaces it because you don't need to stay on board to get your mana regeneration. And if you see it after you've hit 10 mana, it doesn't do nothing.
I mean, arguably those units still block.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not any faster than any other.
Is there a way that you can make that happen on turn 2?
Yeah, you can play it on 3 just like anything else. So I don't know. This card seems really good and will probably replace. What I think this is this plus either the one that heals or the one that makes the 2/2 become your new ramp package, and you don't play other ramp.
Wait, oh.
But it's still like I think better than a lot of other ramp options that you have.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't replace all of your ramp, but it's number 2 ramp. You choose the ramp you like the best, either the unit that ramps you, the spell that heals you, the spell that makes a 2/2. Or, and you run 3 copies of this as your second.
Yeah, I think that just having that and the Catalyst of Aeons, they're just burst speed ramps, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a solid enough ramp package that you just run 3 of this and 3 Catalyst. I think you can get by with that in a lot of situations. Remains to be seen, hard to judge by face value. Spider! 6 mana, Spider, 3/6. Attack. Grow with other attacking allies' power to mine this one. Not much of power. Once again, this is a guy you want to buff the power of. Ooh! Hollowed.
Oh my god, it's just a fucking...
More stuff for Red Gwen, baby! More stuff for Red Gwen. I mean, this with Hollowed is kind of sick, actually. He just basically duplicates the Hollowed buff to everybody.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's actually a pretty solid 6 mana win condition. But the problem is they're already playing the 6 mana dude that brings people back over and over again.
Yeah,
So it's
would you need to? Would
It would create a different situation where your goal is to get a decent amount of Hollowed, go as wide as possible, and then swing with this guy.
Yeah, well, you're already going pretty wide with Hollowed when it comes to running things like the 2/2 that summons a Ghastly Band and the freaking thing that every time you get the attack token, you get a Ghastly Band.
Yeah.
They're usually fairly wide, to be honest.
Yeah, this with Hollowed seems really good. I think Red Gwen is the best place we're probably going to see this thing. And it may not even be good enough because it's competing with another 6-drop, which is kind of key to that deck success. So I don't know. I think it's
very
a different
valuable.
version. Yeah, the fact that you can infinite rally with Katarina is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. There's some potential there, but we'll see. All right, Serene Sky Singer. Say that 10 times fast. Serene Sky Singer, Serene Sky Singer, Serene Sky. Jesus, that's tough.
Serene Sky Singer, Serene Sky Singer, Serene Sky Singer, Serene.
Yeah, that's tough one, right?
Can't do it.
That was a tongue twister. So Serene Sky Singer is a 7 mana 3/6 from Ionia. These stat lines, man. 3/6s. Lifesteal. When I'm summoned, reduce the cost of spells in your deck by half, rounded up. What? That is a unique effect.
That is nuts.
You can re-summon her and to get this again?
Uh-huh. That's nuts.
Dude, what if you do
the thing
one
is that it'll never reduce them past 1 because it's rounded up.
Yeah, but you could play this plus the go get it, right?
Yeah.
Recall it, make another one, it triggers, and then play the 0-costed one as well. You get 3 of these
Everything's
triggers.
been divided in half.
3 times. Divided by.
So the most expensive card in the game is the 15 cost
Sky's Descent.
Sky's Descent. All right, so you cut it in half once, it becomes an 8 cost.
Yep.
Then you cut it in half again.
Costs
It becomes
4.
4 cost.
You gotta get it because 2 mana.
It's 2 mana.
Deals 15 damage to the entire enemy board.
But you can't go, or you can, because go get it's part of Ionia. So you didn't do that.
Yeah, you just Ionia Targon. Yeah,
And-
it's a meme for sure, but
And
man,
then
that's
you
a
can
funny
use
ass
the
meme.
reduced cost Celestial card on this thing to get it out earlier.
Yeah, sure, you're in Targon. You can use Celestials and you can possibly get this out on 6. That is a
The
hilarious.
issue is it does not reduce the cost of your Celestial.
This is awesome. But this is a hilarious meme that I can't wait to play one. But it's fine. Ionia doesn't need good cards anymore. They need memes. And this is a good one. Mischievous Mirai. You bilge water a card. So yeah, we're getting 1 card for each region. I like that idea for the variety. 5 mana, 3/4. When you play a spell, summon a powder keg. What?
That is something K.
When you play a spell?
That is something K.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So it's kind of like a Funsmith in a way?
Dude, line them up, knock them down.
Yeah, you just light them up, you get 2 powdered kegs.
Then you hit the knock them down, you get another one.
4 damage.
And so it's the 3 mana, 4 damage pop.
Your spells do 1 more damage by default. The ones that do damage do 1 more damage by default. But you can easily stack up more kegs by using a bunch of burst spells before.
Well, and also that spell that's just 2 mana, make 2 barrels, would now make 3.
Sure.
So that's a consideration if you're going all in on barrels. Boom ship? Sure, yeah, you play other spells and then you can drop a boom ship. It will increase the damage and then you'll get those same ones back and then you can just boom something else. That could actually be pretty sick.
Pretty solid with TF. You know, when you just play a spell and you get red card and you get a keg on top of it before the red card goes off.
It does mean Invincible Keg never fails. Like, never fails now.
Invincible keg is much stronger now.
Yeah, because even if you don't have a keg, you just cast No, you play Targon.
You play Targon now.
Because it's out of the way and then Kale's spell.
Uh-huh.
So you just have to get a barrel out.
Or you can go Demacia, but then you have to...
Because you have the Kale burst speed protection spell. Yeah, exactly. Now you go Targon, so you can do out of the way and you can permanently buff those kegs. Or just cast Kale spell and then kill them in the same turn. That's a little tougher to do. Because Kale spells 6 mana. So like it's tougher to have that much mana on. But not impossible. There's ways you can do it for sure. Alright, so those are all the new cards. Before we get into the buffs, let's just say which ones we like the most. I really like this one. Big fan of this one. Priestess of the Light Desert. Happy Bear's great. Some of these others are fascinating. Formula, since I'm a degenerate, yeah, that sounds accurate. I was gonna say formula, but I'm like, nah, I don't. I think this is just gonna lead to more degeneracy. But hey, you know what? I guess I welcome it. Yeah, a lot of these are also just be fun to play.
I love Serene. I'm going to play the hell out of that card for a little bit.
Yeah, I think my favorite one for sure is this Priestess of the Desert Light. Like, this just concept is just so fascinating to me. It's a little sad because the more I think about it, the more Udyr Stances is probably literally just the best option here. But it will still be fun to play around. All right, anyway, so let's go see what is happening. Card adjustments. So, Rivet, level or change or level up. I see Blade of Exile up in hand 2. You have created Blade of the Exile. So now she doesn't need to see it. You can create the blade before you play her, before you even see her.
Mm-hmm.
Use the blade, have that creature be destroyed or whatever, and then play her and she still be leveled up.
Yeah.
Minor adjustment, probably just a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in an interesting spot where she's not like, I don't know if it changes it. It really does help. I don't know much about. I don't play a lot of Riven, so I'm not really sure how much this like moves the needle, because I feel like a big problem of what slows her down is that she commits a lot into one unit, and then that unit just gets answered, and the region she's in doesn't have ways of protecting it. So you then go into a different region in order to get the ways to protect her, and so I don't see how this moves the needle, because usually you're not getting Blade of Exile unless she's already on the field, or you're usually not playing it until she's already on the field.
Well, that's the thing, is now you
But I
can,
guess
so
there's
your
exceptions.
earlier units can be more threatening now. You don't see her till like turn 6, so you don't play any of your buffs, so all your units don't do anything until turn 6. But now you can have them do something.
This matters most after your first Riven is killed. So you play your first Riven, it gives you blades, but then you create the Blade of Exile, you then use it, and then you draw a second Riven later. That's like the best, that's like the most useful. That's what this does, essentially. It's more of a quality of life. It's not going to increase her power, but it will increase her win rate by a little, small margin. So, fine with this. Not a big buff, but probably needed to happen.
Uh-oh.
Silverwing Vanguard is now play summon an exact copy of me. So you can't make copies. You can't cleave this guy.
You can't cleave that guy.
You can't cleave Vanguard anymore for more Vanguards. Fascinating.
Oh, were people doing that? That's nuts.
I haven't actually seen anyone do that, but
that
that's
is
a fun
pretty
idea.
nuts. Because you get two not ephemeral ones again. Yeah.
Yeah. You get one when you play him, you have two. Then you cleave one of them, and it makes two
4
ephemeral ones plus 2 others.
Yeah.
So you'll have 5, 2 of which are ephemeral.
Uh-huh.
Silverwing causes a crash in Path of Champions. This fixes it. Oh, okay. Fascinating. I didn't know that. Still, that does mean some amount of play. I've never seen someone cleave this. Plus, because like it has 1 toughness, like they could easily break that with a pokey stick. You know. Now it makes me want to try it for some reason. Anyway,
It also just makes more sense, right? Because like if Silverwing Vanguard says, the weird thing about the last wording was it says when I'm summoned, summon an exact copy of me. Well, why is that
an
exact copy
of you?
Why is it not
why is it
summoning an
summoning? Yeah,
exact
exactly.
copy?
Yeah, but here play makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
There is an add-on in Path of Champion that is summon an ephemeral copy of me. If you have this on it, it crashes the game. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Because it keeps trying to make them.
Yeah, like the Zoe combo that I won on first turn with was kind of doing the same thing.
Similar to
But
that.
that one was just
also
because
got
I had
fixed.
2.
That doesn't even work anymore now.
No.
But okay, so this fixes this, and this is under the card adjustments. So I like that they're breaking this up into sections. So this is more like quality of life, not necessarily buffs. These are actual like card buffs. So Steam is getting a lot of changes. Oh wow. Okay, hold on. So he's going from 6 mana to 4 mana. Big discount.
But he
So
also
a 5/5 to a 3/3. That's what you come to expect. That I mean, he's a 4 mana 3/3 to scout. This is already good, and I assume he still keeps some husk interaction. Change says when I'm summoned, summon a husk to when I'm summoned, summon a husk.
It's...
Wait, what? Are you all fucking with me? Is this some joke? It went from I guess when you summon a 1-cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. Okay. It's just the way that they have this break right here. Like, this feels like a completely different thing that they just added on. And so when I look at this and it says change, and it's just the same line followed by the same line, I'm just like, why even bother change? Why just put added? This is now added. That's so funny for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright. When you summon a 1-cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna be good.
Yeah, actually that's really good. Maybe that actually makes Husks decent now.
Maybe.
Because Husks needed some removal, and the 3 damage from Hate Spike is just not enough. Jagged Butcher in Steam? Yeah, no, Jagged Butcher is fantastic already. He's already in Bilgewater, so you're good. And then there's also the landmark that gives units, that pumps out 1-drops and also gives them +1/+1 and fearsome once it's done counting down.
Can you throw him into a misfortune?
Wait, Steam Talia Revel's Row? Hey, the Talia Revel's Row deck people were talking about. Now you use Steam with it. Yeah, because you play Reaver's Row and then Talia copies it. And then when they're both done, they both pop at the same time, so your entire board gets plus, I think it's...
+4/+1, or +4/+2 in fearsome, I think?
Yeah, +4/+2 in fearsome, basically. It's a giant meme, but maybe it's less of a meme because now you're giving them vulnerable when you do so, so you'll get to determine who blocks who when.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, there's tons of options here. This is a fascinating change. Domination gets another point of health. And they're really trying to push this Husk archetype, but the problem is the deck that this is used in most is Aurelia Azir.
Yeah, no, you can't ping her out of the way.
No, you can't ping her. This card's just already good in driving a few archetypes, and now it's just better. Yeah, this one, this is gonna be a powerful change.
That seems too good.
This seems like a big deal. Yeah, Lucian Azir just cooming all over themselves. They're like, we were already using the shit out of this, and now it's just better. And Lucian Azir might even play 1 or 2 Steam, so that way you can give things vulnerable and shit. Like,
yeah, because you can just run 3 regions like that.
Oh, sorry, you're right. That's Bilgewater. Bandle Painter. Bandle Painter's 3 mana, 2/3 with augment. What are we changing him?
He moved the Piltover.
He adds Piltover and Song.
He just.
Or she. I think it's actually she.
Okay, well, she just decided she
go hang out in
change.
PZ now. Yeah.
She just wanted to change.
She moved.
Just moved to Piltover.
She opened up a studio in PNZ, and she's selling her art on the streets of PNZ. Yeah, it makes sense. And play discard a card to create another random multi-region follower and reduce its cost by. Oh, it only says this so you don't make another one of her. You can't Bandle Painter into Bandle Painter into Bandle Painter into Bandle Painter. They made it a better Tristana card. Oh, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. No,
that's actually a good point.
The double region thing is a big deal, yeah. Because now she's playable.
I don't know if I'll add her to my Tristana Jax deck, but I might consider it. Because each time you play an equipment, it buffs her because she's augment.
Uh-huh.
So you could actually get her to be like a secondary Tristana that just has a really high attack value with Overwhelm equipment. Imagine you get her attack high and then you level up Jax and then you put his equipment on her. It gives her quick attack and Overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give Jax something else because you're going to get Overwhelm anyway. Maybe you give him quick attack. And then since Tristana has quick attack, you just give her Official Whack. And then everybody has quick attack and Overwhelm.
It's true.
This might be worth playing in that deck. I might actually consider trying her out at least a little bit, see how well it works. Mistfall. Each round, the first time an equipped ally is equipped, refill spell mana and grant them +1. Each round, the first time an ally is equipped, refill 2 spell mana.
That's much better.
There's a free equip every turn.
Yeah.
And you still draw a card when you still draw an equipment when it's
That's good. That might actually be playable now.
3 mana, find an equipment, and then its equip cost is essentially free. Finding the right equipment that you just want to find with this is the issue I was running into when I was running it. Now, I was running it before all the Darken had been released. I was running it with basically a Master Yi deck that was running Mistfall, and it was always finding the Noxus Overwhelm card, the 2 mana, give a unit +2/+0 and Overwhelm. It's just an equipment in Noxus. And so if that was your only equipment, this would always draw you that, and then you'd be able to put that on Yi, and you'd be able to get his flow high, and then he'd have Overwhelm, and he'd be able to win.
Didn't Yi come out after the Darken?
This change makes that idea make a lot more sense.
Ooh, Wraith of Echoes might actually be playable now. 5 mana.
Ooh, this is a fun card concept that was just not playable at 6.
Uh-huh. It might not even be playable at 5, but let's see.
At 5, I'm actually willing to test it.
Yeah, true. Just put it on what, Sand Soldiers?
Yeah, it's always been
Sharks?
best with Sand Soldiers.
Well, no, it's never been best with anything.
Well, that's been ideally the place.
It's just been theorized because nobody's actually played that card. Because why would you do that?
I built a deck with this, and we just like delaying the game until you got to turn 6, and then doing something that doesn't win you the game is just like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
So love this change. The card that sees 0 play might actually see some play. I'm all about it. Let's do it. Oh my god, this is a big deal. Vaults of Helia is now 4 mana. You can actually build around this now. The problem with Vaults of Helia has always been that it comes down too late. Because it is a fun deck building cost that allows you to build some cool concepts.
I still think it's too.
4 is is borderline. I think 3 is where I'd like this thing to be, but
I mean, to be fair, you can now just Undying into this.
yeah, true. It comes right off of an Undying. And there's the new 2-mana dude that when he dies draws a card. So he's a solid 2-drop for this. Alright, so that's all the buffs. Of the buff that I think are most meaningful, obviously this buff is so stupid. Like, this is so powerful. This buff is really powerful. This buff is interesting. We'll see how it plays out, but I do like it. Painter, probably negligible. Mistfall, probably negligible. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a combo that works with it. I mean, tutoring is just always a good thing. Like, tutoring is just always a powerful concept in any card game. So if you find me the right deck that wants to tutor a specific equipment, this card finds value. But until that happens, Wraith of Echoes, I'll play around with it. We'll see. Probably still too expensive. We'll see. And Vaults of Hylia, probably too expensive. These are interesting buffs because one of them is an unnecessary buff that's going to make our already powerful archetype more powerful, so it feels awkward. And then all the other buffs, I'm not sure that they make much of a difference, but we'll see. Alright, card nerfs. This is where the real value comes in. Reveler's Feast became a focus speed spell instead of a burst speed spell. Well, it's worse for other decks, but it's still good in Taric Reveler's Feast. Yeah! That deck is still available. I like it a lot. Honestly, I'm fine with this. That means there's basically... Taric's like the only place to play this card now, really. I need to revisit that deck. But anyway, fascinating change. I think it's correct, though, because being able to pop shit... Oh, this is what we're talking about.
How long have we said that this is the change that needs to be made to a chart?
This card could go back to 6 mana.
We said that for...
I've been saying this since Deep. I've been saying this since Deep came out. I've literally said it 1,000 times back when Atrocity was 6 mana and a huge problem. And everyone was like, okay, well, you need to make it more expensive and it go to 7 mana. I'm like, okay, yeah, you made it worse, but like, it's still, this card just has so many problems because it's one of those things where, because it's direct damage, it's so hard to interact with. Because it's slow, you can trust that if you put something on the stack to remove a unit, they can't just Atrocity your face, and that is a huge deal. And a lot of the times, honestly, you can still win with Atrocity with it being slow speed, but it's in less cases. There's going to be a lot of cases where an Atrocity is less good. I think it needs to go back to 6 mana. I think this should go back to 6 mana and can be slow. That's where I've said the card should be from the beginning. Now that it's slow and 7, the card's basically unplayable. So I think we'll see how correct I am, but now I understand why Night Stars wants to play at a Viego Atrocity deck, because they're going to be seeing a lot less Atrocities in the near future. Oh, my Jax Tristana deck gets nerfed because Wandering Shepherd gets hit. I wonder why this is the one that they hit. I guess his value is just too good. His stats for hitting himself. So now he's the same as the guy that gives a tune. But instead of a tune, his value is that he can improvise an ally.
Mm-hmm.
That's way worse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Damn. This is a heavy nerf that I don't think this card really needed, but okay. Heard that. Raven goes down to a 5/5. This is fine. The Leona deck's actually picking up steam. This is a linchpin for that deck's success. So bringing him a little bit easier to kill, I think, is good for the overall health. 6 health Raven. All right, and that's it. That's what we get for the changes. So nothing to address the Rise problem or the Annie Ezreal, the two strongest decks.
What did they change about Raven?
I just gave him one myself.
Okay.
Thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw and want to support the channel, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to help me build these wacky decks, come hang out with me on Twitch. I stream from midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time almost every night. Thank you, and have a great day.